Nextjs, a flexible React framework. But what does that mean? In software development, a framework serves as a tool equipped with predefined rules and conventions that offer a structured approach to constructing an application. It provides an environment that outlines the overall architecture, design patterns, and workflows, allowing developers to focus on implementing specific application logic rather than dealing with low-level design. Simply put, a framework provides pre-built solutions for common functionalities such as integrating databases, managing routing, handling authentication, and more. So, what sets Next.js apart from React.js? Well, Next.js introduces plenty of features and capabilities that we will dive into in the upcoming lectures in detail. But what you need to understand is that Next.js is essentially an extension of React, incorporating pre-built solutions, ready-to-use features, and some additional functionalities on top of that. In other words, Next.js is built on top of React, expanding its capabilities. So if you're already a React.js developer, the Next.js journey will be silky smooth. If you don't know React.js, you should familiarize yourself with some of the main foundations of React. For example, how to create a component, do state management, how to structure your code, and how to handle the file and folder structure. Why should you use a React framework or Next.js? Well, React is constantly evolving and revolutionizing the way websites are built. It completely transforms your approach to designing and developing applications. It begins by encouraging you to think about components, breaking down the user interface into smaller pieces of code. You describe states to introduce interactivity and establish connections between these various components, shaping the flow of your application. Implementing the great React architecture requires deep integration between all parts of your app, and this is where frameworks come in. They take less tooling time. That means that every aspect of your front-end development has seen innovation. From compiling, bundling, minifying, formatting, deploying, and more. With Next.js, we don't have to worry about configuring these tools, thus investing more time in writing React code. We can focus more on business logic, using open source solutions for routing, data fetching, rendering, authentication, and more. The learning curve is so easy. If you're familiar with React.js, you will discover that Next.js is considerably simpler. Next.js, built on the foundations of React, offers exceptional documentation that provides comprehensive and detailed information on the why and how of using Next.js. One of the key aspects of Next.js is that it is not just a front-end React framework, but a full-stack framework, enabling you to write back-end code alongside your front-end code. So how does that contribute to an easy learning curve? Wouldn't it be yet another thing to learn? Well, absolutely not. The back-end aspect of the code you'll be working with is much simpler than you might anticipate. There's no need to set up anything or configure any routes, as we have to do for traditional back-end applications. Next.js also offers improved performance through built-in features like server-side rendering, static generation, automatic code splitting, and all of these things also optimize application performance and enable faster initial page load times, improve SEO, and also enhance the user experience. However, it doesn't mean server-side capabilities are limited to Next.js alone. React has introduced a new concept called React Server Components, which allows rendering components on the server side. So wondering about why you would choose Next.js over React.js alone would be valid. The advantage lies in the convenience and productivity provided by Next.js. By utilizing Next, you can leverage the existing features of React without the need for extensive setup and configuration. Next.js automates many aspects, allowing you to focus more on utilizing the features rather than dealing with infrastructure and boilerplate code. This approach follows the principle of convention over configuration, streamlining the development process and reducing the amount of code you need to write compared to implementing React server components independently. Another big aspect of Next.js is improved SEO, or search engine optimization. Perhaps the most ignored, but also one of the most important topics in an application's life, and the only drawback of React.js. The key difference lies in the rendering approach between Next.js and React.js. Search engine crawlers are like busy visitors to websites. They come and ask for the content of pages. They explore the links on those pages, carefully examining and organizing them for ranking purposes. This is what they do every day, and they get tired, right? They want to quickly know what is there to visit, or they're not going to like it at all. So to do their job well, they need to be able to access the content of the website immediately. And React.js renders everything on the client side, sending a minimal HTML response from the server. So how it works is the server sends a really minimal HTML file and then a huge JavaScript file that then the browser executes to generate the HTML. This poses a challenge for search engine crawlers to access and understand the complete content of the page because at the start, it's not there. It is being generated by JavaScript. On the other hand, Next.js provides the option of static site generation, SSG, or also server-side rendering, or SSR. With SSG or SSR, the server sends the complete HTML file and the minimal JavaScript code to render only the content requiring client-side interaction. This enables search engine crawlers to access content easily and index every page of the Next.js website accurately. But now you might wonder, why should I prioritize SEO? Well, SEO is essential for making your website visible and highly ranked in search engine results. When you focus on SEO, you get several benefits, like more people visiting your website, better user experience, increased trust and credibility, and an advantage over your competitors because your website shows up higher in search results. Giving priority to SEO can greatly impact how well your website does and how many people find it online, which is the most important point of why you're creating your website in the first place. Another big aspect of why you should use Next.js is that it is always advancing. Next.js, being the ever-evolving framework, consistently introduces new features to simplify developers' lives. With over 7+ versions released last year, Next.js focuses on innovation and improvement for a better user experience. This is precisely what frameworks like Next.js aim to achieve, making development easier and more efficient. On top of that, other technologies like Expo, used for building React Native applications, are also adopting Next.js's groundbreaking features. Inspired by Next.js's file-based routing system, Expo developers have implemented a similar feature, Expo Router, to improve the decade-old routing system in React Native. Isn't that great? Master one feature and effortlessly utilize it across multiple platforms. However, the list of features provided by Next.js goes beyond what has been mentioned so far. It offers a wide range of capabilities, including seamless file-based routing, efficient code splitting, image and font optimization, hot module replacement, API routes, built-in support for Sass, CSS modules, data fetching choices, error handling, metadata API, internationalization, and so much more. It is best to try these features firsthand through practical implementation to truly appreciate its potential.